Divorced Dad Diaries, day 60. Today it's Sunday and I feel like a pie. So after doom scrolling in bed for half an hour, I got my ass out of bed, put on my warmest pair of shorts, grabbed the muffins in the container that I baked yesterday, chucked them in the car, and then drove over to Halswell to visit their bakery, which is about 20 k's from my place. And while I was there, I grabbed a steak and cheese pie and a donut. And combined, they came to $12 exactly. It was $7.80 for the pie and then $4.20 for the donut. So I was pretty stoked with that. I thought that was an okay price. And then from there, it was a crisp -1 degree, I believe. So I head over to the Halswell quarry, walked across the frosty grass and found a frosty table to sit my frosty ass down and eat my nice and warm pie. In terms of the pie itself, it was a pretty standard sized pie. The pastry was nice and soft. It was a perfect pastry as far as I was concerned. The cheese was kind of mild, actually. I didn't get a lot of cheese flavour come through. And then, unfortunately, in my steak and cheese pie, I didn't find a single piece of steak. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just got unlucky. But unfortunately, I can't give, high marks to a steak and cheese pie that doesn't have big chunks of steak in it. So that was a bit weird, I found. I still thought it was a good pie, like worlds ahead of the, like dry as Weet-Bix dairy pies that you might get. But compared to some of the other pies I've had recently, it's like, what's a 7 out of 10 compared to a 9 out of 10, So, good pie, not quite great pie. But I still polished it back happily. And while I was eating, I actually noticed I had a few guests. This fat little sparrow was staring at me the whole time. And I noticed after I turned around that he had brought some friends and they were all kind of eyeing me up, actually. So I thought I'd leave the table unattended for a bit and see if they had the bravery to come and clean up my mess. And they sure did. So I packed away my pie wrapper in my pocket, grabbed my donut, and then continued on my walk up Halswell Quarry. And it was quite foggy today, but the views were just astounding. The fog created a view of its own, and the camera doesn't really do it justice, but I just thought it was absolutely wonderful. So I found a nice spot near the top where I could eat my donut and enjoy the views. The donut was... no notes, really. It was just amazing. So, nice cream, nice jam, nice donut. And it had sugar on the outside. And I love a pie and a donut. I think that's just a great combo. Excellent winning combo. So, after smashing back the world's most scenic donut, I walked my way back to the car and head over to the ex's house to drop over the muffins. I transplanted 5 muffins over into one of her containers, one each for the kids, plus one for her. Took the rest home because I want the kids to eat them when they get back to my place. And then I realised I hadn't had a coffee yet, so I popped over to my usual and got a coffee. Then it was back to my house, where I guess after I had a sort of how the hell do you say that word? Existential crisis yesterday, I decided I don't really care and I just want to sit on my ass and do nothing all day. So I played some more Xbox, played some more Indiana Jones, and then realised that I needed to do groceries and I couldn't be arsed driving all the way over to Pack and Save, which is where I'd normally go, so I just popped over to Woolies. Well, first I smashed back a donut over the sink, don't want to waste any dishes, and that makes for a great champion's lunch after a pie and a donut for breakfast. And popped over to Woolies in Rolleston and just grabbed some essential supplies for when the kids get here, like bread and sauce and a couple dinners, lunch stuff, all that good jazz. And was once again reminded when I got to the counter that I'm a bit of a cheap bastard, so can't complain, I guess. Now, I only spent $87, which seems really low, but I did only get 1 box of groceries, but I also didn't need that much. I forgot ham! Okay, so I forgot something, but the reality is I've still got a lot of food in the fridge. Like in the freezer, I've got a bag of sausages, I've got a kilo of mince, I've got chicken nuggets. So I didn't need a hell of a lot. I guess I'll see how it goes throughout the week, especially because there's a 3-day weekend coming up, Matariki on Friday, and I'll have the kids for the 3-day weekend. Which, now that I think about it, is the perfect excuse to just sit on my ass and do nothing, because I'm going to have no spare time over that weekend. At least I get Friday off from work, so, that's a good thing. But I don't know what we'll be doing. I guess it depends on the weather. I haven't really made any plans, so I'll just spend time with them, which is fine. But I'm going to enjoy a lazy afternoon, and I will catch you on the flip side.